name is Nicole Schwab, and today we're going to be learning how to interpret and analyze political cartoons. Political cartoons were a revolutionary way to express political views and expose corruption within the government. During this video, we're going to look at two political cartoons that were created during the latter half of the 19th century. First, let's look to see if there's a signature from the artist on the political cartoon. There it is, on the bottom right corner. The signature belongs to Thomas Nast. Thomas Nast was one of the most prominent political cartoon artists of the 19th century. Most of his work dealt with exposing corruption of Tammany Hall and Boss Tweed. Now that we know Thomas Nast created this political cartoon, I bet you can guess who the figure is in the drawing. That's right, it's the one and only Boss Tweed who ran the infamous Tammany Hall. Now let's look at the writing on the rest of the political cartoon. Underneath the figure are the words "the brains," which is the title of the political cartoon, and that achieved the Tammany victory at the Rochester Democratic Convention. We must ask ourselves what the phrase "the brain" means. When you look at Boss Tweed, his head, or brain, is replaced with a bag of money. This indicates that Boss Tweed's decisions were heavily influenced by monetary gains. Tweed is also depicted as being rather large in this drawing. During this time, how much someone weighed was a signifier of how much wealth they had. The heavier someone's weight, the more wealth that they had. Nast is over-exaggerating Tweed's weight in this drawing to show just how much money he had. Nast is perhaps making the argument that Tweed had in fact too much money. Now let's use our new analytical skills to examine and discover the meaning of another political cartoon from this era. First, let's look to see if there's a signature from the artist on the political cartoon. There it is, on the bottom right corner. This signature belongs to that of Joseph Kepler. Joseph Kepler was another popular cartoonist during this age, and he also worked to expose corruption in the government. Now let's take a closer look at the rest of the writing on the political cartoon. In the top middle of the cartoon, there's the phrase, "the Senate of the monopolists, by the monopolists, and for the monopolists." This is a rephrasing of the original statement, "government of the people, by the people, and for the people." Kepler is trying to express that the monopolies have taken over the control and say in the government, which means that the people no longer have as much power, or as much power as they are intended to have. Let's take a closer look at the men portrayed in this drawing. The larger men standing in the background represent the different monopolies. As you can see, their monopolies are written on their stomachs. Similar to Nast's depiction of Boss Tweed, the monopolists are extremely large. This could represent their wealth, but also in this case, it represents the amount of power that they held in the government, which was a lot. It is also important to acknowledge the behavior of the other men in the drawing. These men are the actual senators in the government. As you can tell, they are much smaller in size compared to the monopolists, which shows their diminishing power and influence. The senators also don't appear to be fighting against this uncontrollable power that the monopolists hold. Kepler is trying to expose that many of the monopolists' goals fit in well with the personal interests of these senators, so the senators were perfectly happy with giving the monopolists what they wanted. This attitude that many of the senators had led to much corruption in the policy making in the government. Over time, political cartoon artists have used their art to help express their views and on many occasions expose the corruption within the governmental system. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.